Creepy medical experiments that change medicine to this day. Let's start with the first few. Early cryotherapy experiments involve subjecting individuals to extreme cold. These experiments aim to study the effects of hypothermia on the human body. Nazi experiments provided crucial, albeit horrific, data on the human body's response to freezing temperatures. The data revealed critical insights into how the body attempts to regulate temperature under extreme conditions. These findings contributed to understanding the limits of human endurance and the mechanisms of cold-induced injury. Therapeutic hypothermia is utilized in controlled medical settings to deliberately slow down bodily functions. This controlled cooling protects the brain during surgeries by reducing metabolic demand and preventing damage. Therapeutic hypothermia improves survival rates after cardiac arrest by minimizing neurological injury. The technique involves precisely lowering the patient's body temperature to a target range. Knowledge gained from unethical hypothermia experiments has contributed to the development of this life-saving medical practice. Nazi hypothermia experiments raise profound ethical questions regarding the value of scientific knowledge obtained through inhumane methods. The ethical debate centers on whether data acquired through unethical experimentation should be utilized for scientific advancement. The inhumane nature of the experiments challenges the moral justification of using the resulting data, regardless of its scientific value. Continued use of data from these experiments remains a contentious issue in the scientific community. The Tuskegee syphilis study involved the observation of untreated syphilis progression in black men. Participants in the Tuskegee study were not provided with informed consent regarding the study's nature. The study represents a significant case of medical racism, disproportionately affecting a vulnerable population. The Tuskegee study is a stark example of ethical violations in medical research. The study's legacy has led to increased scrutiny and regulation of human subject research. The Tuskegee study serves as a reminder of the importance of ethical considerations in medical practice. The Tuskegee study participants were intentionally denied penicillin treatment after it became a standard for syphilis. Denying effective treatment prolonged suffering and resulted in preventable deaths among the study participants. The lack of treatment constituted a severe ethical breach, violating the fundamental right to medical care. This deliberate denial of care had devastating and irreversible consequences for the affected individuals and their families. The Tuskegee syphilis study prompted the establishment of stringent informed consent laws. Informed consent mandates patients are fully aware of the risks associated with medical procedures. Informed consent also requires patients to understand the potential benefits of treatments. Patients must agree to medical procedures and treatments after being fully informed. Modern clinical trials mandate extensive documentation to ensure transparency and accountability. Patient consent is a crucial requirement in contemporary clinical trials, protecting individual rights. These safeguards in clinical trials are a direct response to the ethical failures exemplified by the Tuskegee study. Vulnerable populations receive enhanced protection from exploitation through stringent clinical trial protocols. Ethical review boards play a critical role in overseeing clinical trials and ensuring patient safety. Modern clinical trials prioritize transparency and data integrity to maintain public trust. Early electroconvulsive therapy, ECT, involved administering high doses of electricity to the brain. Anesthesia and muscle relaxants were not used in early ECT practices. High doses of electricity without muscle relaxants often resulted in severe convulsions. Severe convulsions during early ECT often led to physical trauma. Early ECT practices lacked the safety measures and patient comfort considerations of modern procedures. The historical context of early ECT highlights the evolution of mental health treatment. Modern ECT is conducted under anesthesia to ensure patient comfort and safety. Muscle relaxants are administered during ECT to prevent physical injury. Controlled doses of electricity are used in modern ECT to minimize side effects. ECT is considered a treatment option for severe depression when other treatments have proven ineffective. Modern ECT provides a safer and more effective treatment option for severe depression. Electroconvulsive therapy, ECT, involves inducing a brief seizure in the brain. ECT aims to reset neural pathways, potentially alleviating symptoms of depression. The precise mechanism of action for ECT is not yet fully understood. During ECT, controlled electrical pulses are administered to the brain. The induced seizure is thought to modulate neurotransmitter activity and synaptic plasticity. ECT is typically used for severe depression when other treatments have been ineffective. Ethical considerations persist in modern electroconvulsive therapy, ECT. Despite safety improvements, patient consent remains a critical ethical aspect of ECT. Cognitive side effects represent a potential risk associated with ECT. Careful patient selection is essential to minimize risks and maximize benefits. Thorough patient monitoring is crucial throughout the ECT process. Insulin coma therapy involved injecting patients with large doses of insulin. The goal of insulin coma therapy was to induce a coma in patients. It was believed that inducing a coma would reset the brain and cure schizophrenia. Insulin coma therapy was a historical treatment for schizophrenia. Insulin coma therapy was linked to severe adverse effects. Adverse effects of insulin coma therapy included brain damage and seizures. Insulin coma therapy carried a risk of death. Due to its ineffectiveness and high risk, insulin coma therapy was eventually abandoned. The search for schizophrenia treatments, including insulin coma therapy, indirectly motivated the development of safer psychiatric drugs. Desperation for effective schizophrenia treatments spurred research into alternative methods. Insulin coma therapy, while controversial, highlighted the need for safer and more targeted psychiatric interventions. The limitations and risks associated with early schizophrenia treatments underscored the importance of pharmaceutical innovation. Indirect influence from early treatments shaped the trajectory of psychiatric drug development, leading to safer and more effective medications. The pursuit of schizophrenia treatments, regardless of method, ultimately contributed to advancements in psychiatric pharmacology. Modern psychiatric medications provide a more targeted approach to treating mental illness. These medications are less invasive compared to historical treatments. Historical methods, such as insulin coma therapy, involved more systemic interventions. Modern medications often target specific neurotransmitter systems to modulate brain activity. This targeted approach aims to minimize side effects and improve treatment outcomes. Lobotomies involved severing connections in the brain to reduce symptoms of mental illness. The procedure often involved accessing the brain through the eye socket. Dr. Walter Freeman was a prominent practitioner of lobotomies. Lobotomies aim to alleviate mental illness by disrupting specific neural pathways. This surgical intervention was intended to reduce the severity of psychiatric symptoms. Lobotomies frequently induce substantial personality alterations. Cognitive deficits were a common consequence of lobotomy procedures. Patients often experienced a loss of independence following lobotomies. In some instances, lobotomies resulted in a vegetative state. The procedure's adverse effects significantly impacted patients' quality of life. Lobotomies raised significant ethical concerns due to the absence of informed consent. The irreversible nature of lobotomy procedures contributed to the ethical debate surrounding their use. Lobotomies presented potential for abuse, particularly when performed on marginalized groups. The combination of lacking consent and irreversible effects made lobotomies a controversial medical practice. The advent of antipsychotic medications led to a decline in the use of lobotomies. Antipsychotics provided a less invasive approach to managing psychosis symptoms. Antipsychotic medications offered a more effective way to manage symptoms of psychosis. The development of antipsychotics marked a significant advancement in mental health treatment. Modern brain interventions offer targeted precision compared to earlier methods. Deep brain stimulation, DBS, is a modern intervention that precisely targets specific brain regions. Targeted interventions potentially lead to fewer side effects. Lobotomies involved broad, untargeted brain alterations. Modern techniques aim to modulate neural circuits with greater accuracy. The precision of modern interventions allows for potential benefits with reduced risk. Modern medical research is subject to rigorous ethical oversight. Institutional review boards, IRBs, ensure studies are conducted ethically. IRBs protect the rights and welfare of research participants. Ethical oversight includes comprehensive risk assessment and informed consent procedures. The goal of ethical oversight is to balance scientific advancement with participant safety and rights. Modern research emphasizes data integrity to ensure the reliability of findings. Strict protocols are implemented for data collection to prevent bias. Data analysis undergoes rigorous scrutiny to maintain objectivity. Transparent reporting practices are essential for research credibility. Data integrity protocols enhance the trustworthiness of research outcomes. Maintaining data integrity is crucial for advancing knowledge and innovation. Patient advocacy groups protect patient rights within the healthcare system. These groups promote ethical medical practices to ensure quality care. Patient advocates work to improve access to quality healthcare services for all individuals. Advocacy involves ensuring patients are informed and empowered to make healthcare decisions. Effective patient advocacy contributes to a more equitable and patient-centered healthcare environment. Medical ethics is a continuously evolving field. Ongoing efforts refine ethical guidelines in healthcare. Emerging challenges in healthcare are continuously addressed. A culture of ethical conduct is promoted throughout healthcare systems. Continuous improvement ensures the relevance and applicability of medical ethics. Modern medicine balances scientific progress with ethical principles to protect patient well-being. Ethical conduct is paramount in medical research and practice. Past unethical experiments serve as a reminder of the importance of ethical considerations. Upholding ethical standards is essential for maintaining trust in the medical profession. Continuous ethical review and adaptation are necessary to address emerging challenges in medical advancements.